Over 2,000 years ago, my Jesus knew exactly who was going to be here tonight. But we want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts. You know, putting this event on was a lot of hard work. We made a lot of trips to Kerrville talking to people. We just did a lot of groundwork and stuff. And there's people here in this town that really, really have been special about helping us. I'm not going to call out names because I'm afraid I'll leave somebody out, and that would break my heart to leave somebody out. But you know who you are. And so thank you again for all your help. Thank you for all your prayers. Guys, don't forget the donation boxes. And when you donate, it's going to the garden, the prayer garden here. You can make your checks out to the TCKF, the Coming King Foundation, the initials. You know, a lot of you asked about, do we have T-shirts for sale? And we don't. Using these grounds is not to be, we're not allowed to sell anything or offer anything for sale. These are sacred grounds. But if you're here tonight and you wanted a T-shirt, I would ask you to please make that check available and make it out to the garden and put it in one of the donation boxes, please. Because God can take that money and make it go further than anybody I know. I got great news. I want you to mark your calendars. Second weekend of September 2020. We'll be back. All right? Now, guys, I'm gonna say something here, and please bear with me. Next year, we have a very important election in our country, and this is not a political rally. But we need more than ever. We need to be united, and we need to come together and pray for our country. And next year will be a good chance for us to do it. We can come up here and pray on this mountain. We better be praying all year long, but we can pray on this mountain unified and together about elections for this country and where our country's going. It's going to be one of the most important elections in history, guys. Thank y'all for showing up for breakfast this morning. They had a lot of breakfast tacos left over, but they did a great job, and we're so appreciative of that. Tonight is going to be real similar as far as a order of service. I'm going to have one of the other organizers here in just a second, Quinn Peterson. He's going to come up and speak to you and share with you for just a few minutes. When he gets done, then Buck and the other people with the shofars will come back up and blow the shofars again right here in front, and then they'll go up between the cross and re-blow the shofars. We'll have praise and worship, and then we'll have our guest speaker tonight, who is Doc Dennis. I do have one announcement. Did anybody leave this inhaler last night here? Is anybody missing an inhaler? It was right up here in front, and it was laying on the ground, and it's not empty. Yours? All right. God bless you. Thank you. Quinn, would you come up?
Thanks, Roy. Hey, everybody. Like Roy said, I just want to thank you guys for coming. This feels pretty good. I've never done this before. Is this how y'all feel, Scout?
No.
No? What about it, Roy? Is this how you feel when you get up on that?
No, your knees are
That's pretty cool.
No,
Anyway, again, thank y'all for coming. You know, I just wanted to give y'all a little history of where did Light Up the Hills come from, and God laid it on Q.D. Hicks's heart about 10 or 12, 15 years ago. And what he laid on his heart was a Christian motorcycle rally in Sturgis, South Dakota. Wouldn't that be cool? Gee whiz, wouldn't that be cool then? So we have a riding crew that we ride together with. There's about 10 or 11 of us. And Q kind of shared that with us, and a few of us said, you know, hey man, that might be cool. What would that look like? So a few of us got involved with that, and we figured that it'd probably be a good idea if we got a little research done. So we did, and we were fortunate enough to have a master's class at Dallas Baptist University take this project on as their class grade for their semester grade, under the direction of Dr. Earl Crisp. And they started doing some research. How would you go about building it? Who would you promote this to? And through their research, they were able to identify over 940 organized Christian motorcycle entities across the nation. And when I say entities, what I mean is churches, motorcycle ministries, riding groups, that type of thing. 940 across the nation. They had enough data to come up with a statistical equation that showed that there could be as many as 6.5 million Christian motorcyclists in this nation. Now the boss said to his crew, boys, the fields are ripe for harvest, but there aren't the workers. There are no workers. Pray the Father will send the workers. Well, we looked at one another and we said, that's a pretty big workforce. So what's the problem? Well, I guess we're not being as intentional as we could be. So we got to thinking about that, and we had a couple of rallies up in Sturgis, national rallies. But one of the things that we learned is this is something that is more easily brought to a regional type of event, because Sturgis is a long way from everywhere. I mean, except Sturgis. If you're in L.A. or New York City or Baton Rouge, Louisiana, you got to traverse half the country to get there, right? So we started looking at that, and since we're all here from Texas, and we thought, well, we'd have the first one of y'all the guinea pigs. How are we doing? Did you like it? Let me ask you this. Roy just told you we're going to be back here next year. You going to come? Now let me ask you a really important question. Are you going to bring 5 of your friends with you? And at least one person that's not saved that you know of, that you work on. See, that's what we're trying to do. What we're trying to do, we hope to be able to take this nationwide. We have a plan, and we want to present this to the North American Mission Board to see if they will adopt this as an evangelical initiative. Because y'all that are in ministry, it takes money. Man, ministry takes money. And it takes a pretty big shovel, and ours is a little bitty. We got a camp shovel, but they got a big one. So we hope to be able to do this. And what we want to do is we want to go and reach out to the groups just like you guys. And here's what I would tell. I'm going to tell you just what I would tell them. If you're part of a riding group within your church, what we want to do is go to the community like we did right here and work with the church. Now, we're a group of Baptist boys. We're not discriminative. It's not that. It's just we're Baptist boys, and so we went to the Baptist churches, Hey, everybody's welcome. This is why we invited y'all here, But so we want to work with those churches in that community, and we want to talk to. But another little tidbit that they were able to reveal in their research is that 6 to 7, that not 67, but 6 to 7% of any given church congregation rides a motorcycle. Think about your own churches, where you go to church, and think about how do we count our membership and how many people ride a motorcycle, and see if that proves out for y'all. So what we want to do is we want to reach out to those people and say, listen, if you're a riding group, that's cool, man. Just be intentional about what you're doing, But prayerfully consider about organizing your group. Inquire of the Lord, what would you have us do with this, Lord? How can we serve you with this tool that you've given us? And once you've decided that, go see your pastor. Get your pastor involved. Pastor, we need your help with this. We think we can make a difference in our community. And for those churches that have a larger motorcycle population, we'd like to see them, encourage them to prayerfully consider starting to plant a motorcycle church in your community. So that's why we have called you guys here, why we invited all y'all here, was just to encourage all of you to do that in your own ministries, what you're doing. Just be more intentional about what it is you're doing when you go out. You know, so many times, you know, the person that you're talking to may not be the person that you're witnessing to, you see. And whenever you go out, there's people that are looking at you and saying, you know, whatever they're, you know, seeing them. There was a couple of stories about people coming here where that happened. And Doc might tell you about one of them. I don't know if he will or won't. But the point is, we can carry the salt and be the light to a lost world via that tool that God has given us to use. He told me just about as clear as I'm talking to you right now, when I went and got my motorcycle down in Austin, Texas from my neighbor, on the way back up to Grapevine where I live, he says, now this is a tool for you. I'm giving you this motorcycle, and I want you to use it, and I want you to get out and get with it, and that's what I did. And so I want to encourage you guys, when you're going out, be intentional about what you're doing, and share your faith. And I know there's probably a lot of people say, man, I've got trouble doing that. You know, I mean, please don't ask me to share my faith with a total stranger. Man, they might think I'm a Jesus freak, right? But the thing is, like on my motorcycle jacket, I got at least 5 reasons on my motorcycle jacket why a guy might come up and ask me a question without my ever opening my mouth, without saying a word. So people are looking at us, and I just want you guys to really try to capitalize on every opportunity that you see. Now see, with 6.5 million, let's say it's only half that many. Say it's only 3,250,000, okay? But see, like our crew is about 11 guys, you know, and usually when we go out at 6 or 8, well, even if half of those guys would not share their faith with a total stranger, but the others would. And if the Lord would only give us just 6 days a week, 6 days a year to go out, and each one of those guys that would share their faith would be willing to share it with, or at least try to open the door to share their faith with at least 5 people every time they went out. Over a year's time, that's over about 3 million seeds planted. Pretty conservative, you know. And that's only about 5% of the number of seeds that would be spread. Very, very conservative. So the point is this. I think that if we can get all of the Christian motorcyclists across this nation, we all work for the same boss. If we can get unified and start doing this, you see what I mean? We could at the very least be a lamp. We might even start that revival. That, you know, I hang out with a bunch of Christian guys, and I hear it all the time. You know, sometimes people that we're not even sitting with. What we need in this country is a revival. Amen? We need God to come in and heal our land. I hear it all the time, and He told us how. It's right there on the screen. He told us exactly how to do it, and it appears we're not doing it because we haven't got revival. So think about this. Pray about this verse right here. He says, if my people who are called by my name, he's not talking to the atheists. He's not talking to the God haters that are out there. He's not talking to them. He's talking to you and me, right? To the house of Israel and every follower of Jesus Christ. That's who he's talking to. And he says, if they will humble themselves. Now notice he doesn't say, if they will pray to me to humble them. He does not say that. Nor does he say, if they will humble one another. See, he says, if Quinn will humble Quinn, right, and turn from my wickedness and pray and seek his face, right? And when God says, I mean, what that says to me is when he says seek my face, what he's saying is seek to know me. See, I can't tell you how many people, I bet y'all have too. Some people say, man, if I just knew what God's will was for me, buddy, then I could do it. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to answer that question for you right now. God's will for you is to know Him. Amen. So, if we can just get unified, like I said, that's what we're looking for. Roy, I'll tell you what, I think we're going to blow the shofar, aren't we? That's all I got. Unless y'all got some questions. I probably don't have the right answer. I'm not very good at that. No. That's for him. That's for him. Buck, come on. Get us going, brother. Did y'all enjoy the shofar blowing? That's good stuff.